Hey everyone, this is Peony and I'm here today with a simple and basic tutorial, how to draw and shade a drop of water. The first thing you need to do is to draw the outline. You can choose whether the shape of your drop is a circular, oval, or an irregular shape. It is up to you, but I'm gonna go for a circle. If you're a beginner, I recommend you to use a compass to draw the circle to have a more defined outline. This way you can better distinguish the border of the shadows and not to get confused. After the outline, determine the direction of the light source first. Now that I have determined the location of the light source, in this part I'm going to have some shadows called reflected shadow. And on the opposite side, I am going to have a cast shadow, which is actually the shadow casted on the surface from the drop. The cast shadow is usually darker. Take your HB pencil and create a shape like a moon in this part, and then shade it. Create a soft layer of graphite. Then add another soft layer to this section. Start from the edge of the circle, but this time drag the shadows inwards. This is the shadow reflected from the surface, which is actually visible to us due to the transparency of the water drop. Add gradation and a slightly shade from dark to light to have a soft transition in values. Then wrap the tissue around your finger and blend this layer. Try not to smear your shadows. And for the cast shadow, use cotton swabs to blend and soften the edges. These cotton swabs are great tools for blending, and many artists use them. Then take the 6B pencil and apply darker and sharper shadows to the cast shadow. Then blend again. You can also use a round brush for blending softer shadows. Take 4B pencil and introduce a darker transition of values to the reflected shadow as well, and slightly feather out your strokes as you move towards the light area. Blend this layer again. Sharpen the edges and reinforce the cast shadow, and this time use a tissue to softly blend it. Take the eraser and make a highlight like this at the very edge of the circle for the illuminated area. Create a delicate shadow here, which is darker than the reflected shadow, but lighter than the cast shadow, and do the same for the opposite side. I like to take my black colored pencil and make the borders of the cast shadow really defined. Then finally, it's time to add some highlights. So grab an eraser with a sharp edge and slightly create two highlights on the reflected shadow close to the edge. Then you can take your mechanical pencil and refine the edges of your highlights. At the end, double check your drawing, as we always do, and see if there's anything to fix and clean up the edges. If you like this video, check my channel and take a look at my tutorials, and consider subscribing to my channel. Good luck!